Welcome to episode 336 of Pub Theology Live, a weekly conversation on life and faith over a craft brewed pint, a fine wine, or whatever happens to be in your glass. On today's St. Patrick's Day episode, the Reverends Shannon Weston, Ogun Holder, and yours truly, Brian Burkhoff, address and engage what's happening through a theological lens with a good brew in hand.
And that good brew might be in your own Pub Theology Live pint glass while supplies last till the end of April
May.
or May, end of May, end of May, end of May. So we got a few left, a few glasses, and a few more weeks. So if you want one of those pint glasses as a thank you for becoming a patron, head over to patreon.com/PTLive. And for a few bucks a month, you get even more content, some pre and post show banter, where we just really, if you think we're doing stream of consciousness now, you have no idea. So
These
tune
are
in.
thoughtful comments.
Yeah, these are the ones we think about. Exactly. So patreon.com/PTLive. And as always, thank you to our current patrons.
Today we'll be discussing St. Patrick's Day, peace through strength and contentment. So with that, we need a drink. And apparently my hair looks fabulous today, according to the boys.
Absolutely.
Good video day show.
I didn't have green on, so I put a Post-it note on, and, there we go.
Love it.
There. Okay.
But my eyes are green, so I always have green on. All right, Ogun, what are you drinking?
Well, it's interesting being in a country that does not, what's the word I want, seek to squeeze every living dollar out of every living occasion.
Sure.
That occurs on a calendar. So there's nothing to tell me that it's St. Patrick's Day over here. So I completely forgot. No green, no. But so I'm going. This is the last bottle I have of this. I had this on the show a couple weeks ago.
The Franziskaner.
Good. Yes, exactly. Vice Bear. So yeah, that's what I have. So no observant St. Patty's for me today.
That looks tasty though. You're doing okay.
It is a tasty. I'm gonna go next, so Brian, you can close this out with yours.
Sure.
Well, it was 78 degrees last week, and then it was 60 yesterday, and then this windstorm came through, and now it's like in the 30s. So I'm drinking Sam Adams Cold Snap because even though technically it's not a cold snap, it was a warm snap. I'm gonna declare this a cold snap.
There you go.
So we can get warm again.
Like it.
The cold snapped back.
Exactly.
There you go. So it counts. What do you
Brian,
have,
what
Brian?
are you drinking?
So I'm going to attempt to make a black and tan. I have the Guinness, but they didn't have Harp or Bass or what I usually go with. So I've got a Maggie's Irish Ale, which is a local beer, and I figured it's
Absolutely.
Irish, so it'll do the job. So I'm
Close
going to
enough.
try the combo, and those who are watching on YouTube later will get the
Do you have your
visual.
spoon or your turtle?
Yeah,
Got
didn't you
the
do this
spoon.
last? Didn't you do this last time? It didn't work so well. You've done this a few times.
Brian doesn't know what he's doing.
I do the turtle. The turtle works well, but you can also do it with a spoon.
I'm not doing anything but pouring.
You got to pour very slowly,
Yeah,
Now go slow.
very, very slowly, so it just sits and cradles on top.
Ooh, and this is one of those Guinnesses with the nitro,
Oh,
whatever.
the nitro ones. Yeah,
Excuse me.
just inhale some carbon there.
little nitro up your nose.
Ooh, that went straight in. All right, now we're going with the Guinness slowly.
No, that's not gonna work.
That's not
It's a
doing it.
disaster.
Yes,
It's not
you
gonna
got to
work.
hit the side.
Yeah,
I
Slide it
meant to hit the
down.
side, but I didn't want to pour it on myself.
you need like.
You're gonna be,
I thought you said
you're
you
gonna
had a
be all head
spoon.
there.
You didn't have a spoon. That's what she said. Didn't you have a spoon?
Oh, I forgot about the spoon. Look,
Didn't I just say that like 3 times?
you did, but I'm in the shed. There's no utensils just at hand.
Okay, that's not bad actually. It's
Yeah.
not terrible. That's
See,
not
the bo-
terrible.
the bottom has got a little gold.
The bottom is gold. Then you got your Guinness, and then you got
You got like 4 layers going on there.
I
the
didn't
Guinness is
pour
actually
enough.
in the middle of the Maggies.
I
Like
didn't pour enough of the Maggies, but I'm going to take a photo and post it to socials later.
I love me a chocolate Guinness cake. That is the best with cream cheese frosting, Guinness frosting.
Never had that.
Look it up, Google it. It's the best.
There, I got a picture with both of you. and the beverage. Now we
That's
can get going.
that's
Now
not
we can
black
get
and
going.
tan. That's like black and sunburn.
I think yeah, it's not a very light, it's a pretty dark beer to have at the bottom.
I
Yeah.
love a black and tan. I
Mm.
love it with Smithwick's, which is something else. But anyway,
If I
No,
if
that's also
I
good.
if I liked Guinness, I would love a black. I'm
I don't like
not
Guinness on
totally
its own.
against
I
it.
like it in a black and tan.
I love Guinness.
No, not a big stout fan. I'll do porters, and it's a rare stout that I will like. But I had the other day we went to for some reason we ended up in an Irish pub, and I had I forget the brand, a cream ale. The you guys had cream ales. Oh, those are delicious.
Nice.
Yes.
That does sound good. Oh, I'm gonna do a selfie with my beer too, just so I have all of us.
What a
Okay.
what a
Preliminaries
stimulating conversation.
aside, it is St. Patrick's Day. What's your favorite beverage to enjoy on this day?
I don't even recognize this day. Do the Irish recognize this day? Isn't that a whole thing that the Irish
It's
don't
an
even
Irish
make?
American holiday.
It is.
I mean, St. Patrick is it's a saint's day, but like it's not.
Mhm.
It's an Irish American. There's this great Irish comedian that talks about how the Irish have to come to America to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
was in Ireland in 2010 on St. Patrick's Day, and same with Ogun. You wouldn't necessarily know it, and it's
Nope.
in Ireland. I'm like, so we just had Guinness, and yeah, we did some bar hopping, and it was fun, but it
It's
wasn't
an
like,
American holiday.
but it
Yeah.
really is an American holiday.
We didn't have one in March, you know?
We need it.
We needed a drinking holiday in March.
It's the pre-March
I
Madness.
thought I was gonna say I thought that's what March Madness was.
Well,
That's as much of a drinking holiday as anything.
They
A
pair
drinking
together.
bed in sports holiday.
They pair together.
I
So,
like a black and tan today, but I also like an Irish whiskey.
yes,
Um, and so like
like a
if
Bushmills or a
yeah, I mean Jameson, you know.
Jameson. Yeah.
The Jameson has a like coffee brew Jameson that you
Ooh,
make a like an Irish coffee out of. Very good.
nice
I also love me some Baileys, I'll be honest.
and
Some Irish cream.
fair.
I should have had Baileys today. I wasn't
Yes.
thinking.
Sure.
Wasn't thinking.
What were you thinking?
Oh, that's all right. That's all
I
right.
love Baileys on its own, just over ice. So good.
Normally, I'm the one of the three of us who's not thinking, so
I know.
so for once, maybe I was thinking.
Listen, I got 24 whole hours off for the first time in 3 weeks on Sunday, and now I like don't know what day it is or which way is up.
There you go. There you go. So St. Patrick was born in Britain and captured by Irish raiders at 16 years old, separated from his family, and served as a shepherd in Ireland for 6 years, during which he became deeply religious. Do you know what his given name was? Before he was St. Patrick, he had another name.
Nope.
I have it. I'm pulling it
It's
up.
not. It's not Patrick.
I didn't include it there. Let's see.
Sir,
His given
boy,
name was Maewyn Succat.
Okay.
I can see
cool.
why that didn't catch on.
Maewyn Succat.
Maewyn Succat. It's
Patrick is very popular though.
Oh yeah.
Maewyn. So, sort of an Irish or Gaelic name. And then Succat is Succat. So there you go.
What year is this?
He was in the 5th/6th century, as I understand it.
Yeah, so like it's all the same
Earlier.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Britain,
I mean,
like
ish.
it's all
The
Gaelic-ish.
borders, yeah, exactly. The borders are not what they are today. Correct.
Yeah.
By the way,
So,
if you want a good Irish TV show, I highly recommend How to Get to Heaven from Belfast.
oh, I want to see that.
So good. So
Remind me the
good.
platform.
I don't know.
One of them.
You didn't hear it from me, but
It's on a streaming service.
yeah.
I got
I
you.
don't
I
stream
got you.
things legitly,
I got you.
so I don't know.
How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. There you go. There's the show reference. So famously, legend says St. Patrick would use a shamrock or three-leaf clover to explain the Holy Trinity, Father/Creator, Son, and Holy Spirit. In your view, is this so? You got your plant, it's got three leaves, it's all one plant. Is this a good way to explain this doctrine?
There's no good way to explain the doctrine of the Trinity. It makes absolutely no
Okay,
sense.
but
You have,
tell me about, is it a good try?
I mean, sure, I guess. I guess of all the tries, just
Come
do one.
on.
My favorite. You guys remember? You guys remember Mr. Deity?
Mm-hmm.
The Mr. Shannon's looking at me weird. So Mr. Deity, he's a comedian and he's an atheist, and he does this whole series where, right now, the last couple of years has been very more politically oriented, but earlier on, he was basically making fun of Bible and creationism and all the things. So he was God,
Yeah.
or deity,
Yeah. Mr.
and
Deity. Yeah.
Mr. Deity, and he had an assistant that was supposed to be the Holy Spirit, and then there was Jesus, or Jesse
They try to
was,
recruit Jesse to play
yeah,
Jesus.
and it was a whole thing. So there's this one skit where he and Jesse try to explain the Trinity, try to make sense of the Trinity. Okay, and I forget the assistant's name, who's supposed to be kind of like the Holy Spirit, I guess, wasn't there.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, let's try make sense of it anyways." And it's like, I am
Wait, the
you,
Holy
and
Spirit was the assistant, and that's not offensive?
the
The
whole thing's
woman
offensive.
of the three?
Listen,
The whole
hey,
thing is
hey,
meant to be very offensive.
Satan was a woman. Okay, Satan was a
Yeah,
woman,
and Satan was a woman, right?
but who was more described as like deity's ex-girlfriend,
Yes.
but she wasn't evil. She was like more in cahoots with the whole thing. You have to look it up,
We're
Mr.
losing the
Deity
plot.
It was
on
like an
YouTube.
early YouTube TV show.
Yeah.
Okay. And
But they have an episode where they're trying to explain like the Trinity, and like they're going back and forth, and it's like he's saying, so I am in you, but you are me, but you are not me before you impregnate the teenager, and then I became you, but I didn't really become you until I was crucified, and then you became me, but you are not in the person of me. So there's this whole thing where they go back and forth, and there's a counter that goes off every time he says like you and me, and
It
it's
just
it's I'll send you the link.
it's
But look it
hilarious.
up. Everyone look it up on YouTube, Mr. Deity,
It's
and then there's the
hilarious.
one for the Trinity. We'll
And it just
post it on
shows
social.
that
Yeah.
this is obviously a conundrum of a doctrine. It just
Yes.
is.
sure, sure.
So if we're not going to go with the shamrock or the three-leaf
Well, hold on.
clover,
The Shamrock is an excellent, excellent way to pull off a children's sermon every single year.
yes,
Sure.
you got three leaves,
You got three
one
leaves. It's all
plant.
part of one thing. Let's give credit where credit is due, which is children's sermons are hard and they suck to come up with themes and find a four leaf or a three leaf clover, And there's
Yeah,
thousands of
But
them around.
and
to
get
be fair,
your children's
children's
pastor to dress up as a leprechaun.
there you go. Children's sermons often make more sense than adult sermons. I'll tell you that. If you can explain it to kids, adults will probably understand. But here's my problem with that three-leaf clover metaphor is that who is the top leaf there? Like, which is the leaf in charge? Because
Ooh.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the Father is still like head honcho, right? God
Now,
is
who's that
still,
top leaf?
yeah.
See, I don't think there is a top leaf.
But there has to be.
There's
Why?
not. The
Because
idea
there's-
is
there's-
we flatten it. The Shamrock is this way. It's like a tabletop.
sure.
So what is every time it turns, it's the top.
Yes, right. But the Son and the Holy Spirit are not equal to God.
No, that's not the doctrine.
The doctrine is they are co-equal.
They are all equal.
Yes, that's the doctrine, but that's not the reality of it.
Ah, what? You're trying to get into the reality of it.
No. I mean, in terms of when you look at the hierarchy of it, God.
But there is
like
no hierarchy. That's
There
the
is no
point.
hierarchy.
But there is a hierarchy.
But there isn't.
It
There
seems like there
is.
has to be. You're right, Ogan.
There
Like,
is, because if there isn't, why is Jesus saying, if your will be done, if it's your will, take this cup for me? This is because of the Father.
because when he became incarnate, I'm going to forget the words, but he did not seek equality with God as something to be grasped.
So when he was incarnate, he wasn't the Son? Or he was the
No, but
Son?
he sort of like was God with both arms behind his back.
This is exactly what happens on the Mr. Deity episode. You're looking at a reenactment of it right here.
But the idea, as
Okay.
Shannon said, is there's no hierarchy, there's no
Okay,
ranking.
so hold on. So if there's
No,
no
no, no.
hierarchy,
Okay, wait, wait, wait.
so
You
Jesus, when he therefore resurrects, we come on Easter, he's resurrected. He's no, or when he ascends, he's no longer in the human form. So is he still the Son? Is he
Oh
still
yeah,
equal to God?
let me put this in a term that Ogun you might understand.
he's back.
It's a polyamorous relationship. There is no leader. There are three people
It's a
who are
throuple.
Right.
in relationship with one another
Okay.
who are all in full agreement of
Right.
being in the family together.
Okay. Okay.
Shared partnership.
I understand that. But when you read the text,
Wow.
Somebody had to go first.
when you read the relationship agreements,
And it
it's
is
clear.
in alphabetical order.
It's
Just
clear that
like
God is the top of this relationship, and the Son and the Holy Spirit are the bottoms.
they're all God. It's all God.
No, they're all in the relationship.
Remember,
I
we talked
agree.
last week, Genesis let us create humanity in our image. That was the Trinity, baby.
No, I'm not.
And the wind that swept over the water in the
Sure.
very beginning is the Spirit.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with
And Jesus
anything
is the
you were
light.
saying. Okay, so
That's the
so
clapper noise, in case you were
That's clap
wondering.
Saw
it's
that.
like
Clap on.
Jesus is clap on Jesus. So are you saying that the Son and the Holy Spirit, they act independently, autonomously? They don't need to check into God, follow God?
Absolutely.
Really?
Because
Oh,
what's
got
that
Brian's
show
shaking his
that you
head.
all,
Brian's shaking his
what's
head.
that show that you all like where everybody's consciousness is the same as everybody else's?
Yes.
Pluribus.
Pluribus.
It's that.
They have
It's
a
that.
pluribus arrangement. There is no acting independently.
Ogun, why is
Oh,
this hard?
there is no acting in the. But,
Why is
okay,
this hard to understand?
It's one mind.
it's okay. That's not how the scriptures
One
read. That
mind,
is not how the
one
scriptures
body,
read.
one Lord of all.
It's why
That's
Carol
not.
is not a Trinitarian in pluribus.
So who's
Can we help you, Carol? We're sorry, Carol.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So, is there a better? Do you have a favorite analogy for the Trinity? Like, there's like I like the water one, right? We got ice, gas, liquid. Three forms, all the same, but
Same chemical makeup,
yeah,
different
it's the
elements.
literal
Yeah.
same substance.
I like the dance.
Oh, tell me the dance.
There's three independent bodies, and every time one does something, it changes the other two. There's a connection of three people dancing.
Is this a Richard Rohr metaphor?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know either.
I heard it when I was little, and I've always
Oh,
liked it.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, I went to the wrong church.
So it was this like if
we
you
know
got
that.
three people, I mean, I guess like I always imagined it like this is a terrible like rhyme, but I always imagine it like a ring around the rosy thing, you know? But it's like if one person stopped, the other two have no choice but to stop. If one person pulls, you know,
And
and
then on
there's
Good Friday, they said we all fall down.
and then they all fall down and then they all get back up.
They all back up.
Yeah, no, that's what I have always
This
liked.
conversation makes me want to become Buddhist, honestly.
Okay. Is it heresy in your view for a Christian to not believe in the Trinity?
I don't care.
I I more trust the Christian that doesn't believe in it because it don't make sense.
I don't. So here's what I don't care about. I don't care about the doctrine of the Trinity. That you like, I don't think it is supposed to be understood. And I
Thank
don't,
God.
I don't think, I actually think the doctrine, the beauty of the doctrine is it's not understandable.
Yes.
Like it's not comprehensible. What I think the doctrine points to is that like there are things about God that cannot be explained. But what I find important about the Trinity is that we each at different times in our lives, at different stages in our lives, or maybe even whatever, like we each identify with God in different ways. And that's what I like about it, right? So there's we do need some language to describe this. We need something tangible to hold on to. So I heard once somebody said, like, I was about to teach like youth thing, and they were like, listen, some people are God people, some people are Jesus people, and some people are spirit people. But every time whichever one they say, it's just they're interchangeable. So if they're talking about the spirit, like, and you're a Jesus person, just replace it with like, it's the same thing. That's what we believe. So it was a really helpful reframing of the accessibility of God.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it.
Yes, I like that too, and I agree with you that I don't care so much about the doctrine, or especially don't care about enforcing belief in the doctrine. That's
Right.
like gross. But I think, as you said, it speaks to people's experience and experiences, plural, of God, and can give us some language around that. But I'm not over here. None of us are playing the doctrine police, and you got to believe X, Y, or Z on this or any number of things to be sort of quote unquote in.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're moving on. So Albert Einstein said, peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Jimmy Carter said, we will not learn to live together in peace by killing each other's children. Jesus said, those who live by the sword will die by the sword. Now, we're hearing these quotes in the context of the U.S. having initiated war in Iran, the U.S. and Israel. And many who are in favor of this are saying that we can find peace through strength. But to that end, George Carlin quipped that fighting for peace is kind of like screwing for virginity. So what do you think? Do you lean toward those earlier quotes, or do you think that there are times where war, unfortunately, is the necessary evil to ultimately get to peace?
I think that George Carlin was one of the greatest theologians of the 20th century.
I would love to hear his views on the Trinity, honestly.
I'm sure it's out there, to
We
be
can probably
honest.
find it.
I
You
have
can
to look
probably
that
find
up.
it.
I have to look that up. Probably makes the most sense. I don't believe we get peace through strength or war. We get order, but we don't get peace. And order and peace are not the same thing, and people use them
Yeah,
interchangeably,
right.
and they're not.
Yeah. I yeah, this is the difference of like the conversation we were having last week about, is there a justification for violence? There can be a justification for violence, but stopping violence isn't peace necessarily,
Yeah,
right? Like again, like Ogun, what you said of like stopping violence can lead to peace and actually is probably a absolute necessary step, I would say. And it's not the end. Like just stopping the violence isn't enough to create peace.
right, right,
Look at every single revolution that has ever happened in any country. Stopping the violence didn't bring about peace. It just stopped the violence and it usually got replaced by a different regime.
right. It brought a sense of order and stability, which in many cases didn't last, and then needed to be continually enforced. So for me, peace is a naturally occurring state of harmony.
Right.
Mm.
Like we don't have to put a concerted effort of enforcement for peace to happen.
We don't have to manufacture it. We have to
Right.
recognize it's already there.
We have to practice it. We have to
We have to,
discipline ourselves to it.
yes,
We have to
practice
be
it. Perfect.
attuned to it, but it's not something we create.
I
Yes,
like that. I like that.
exactly.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we hit on this a little bit last week. The one I lean toward pacifism and seeking peace through negotiation, through understanding, sort of like Einstein said. And the one exception that people will point to is, well, what about World War II? Like, wasn't violence necessary there? And I will admit, I don't know the answer. Like, I kind of think maybe that's the one exception to my views, but I still don't like it. Like, it's just war is so ugly, and there
Well,
was
And it
so
didn't lead
much.
to peace in and of
exactly. It
itself.
it
Yeah.
restored it restored a balance. It restored
Yes,
order. It addressed a massive injustice that was happening.
right.
Yeah. Now, what
right?
Germany has done in the years that followed and how they educated their citizens about what happened,
Yes,
that is leading to peace.
Right.
yes.
That is not the same as ending the war.
And we
For
refuse to look at our,
multiple, yeah, for multiple generations to this
Yes,
day of educating
right,
from young. This is the horrific thing that we did,
right,
and we don't ever want this to happen again. So we want to
right.
make sure you know about it.
And you're by being German, you're not a terrible person,
Exactly.
but this country did terrible things.
Yes. Unless you're neo-Nazi now,
Well, right, exactly. No, I
but those
but
are all
but
those are all over.
unfortunately, I will watch like a movie in German with subtitles, and it just feels Nazi-ish because
It feels
I've seen too many
Nazi-ish.
World War II
you've seen too
movies,
many. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and it's
Where
not
they
their
stand
fault.
up and yeah,
It
no.
feels Nazi-ish.
Ugh.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, okay. I'm sorry. I just whatever. But like it goes back to what Ogun said of I love the idea of peace being I mean, if we look at nature, this is true, right?
Yeah.
There is violence in nature, but there is also genuine harmony and peace in
Yes.
nature. And we have to tap that.
Yeah.
Yes, and the violence that exists in nature is part of the symbiotic relationship between the species. No animal is going out there preventing another animal from hunting its
Right.
natural prey, or vice versa. No one's stopping it because when you break one chain of that cycle, it has a ripple effect for all the other species that are interconnected to it. So that's in a sense it looks like violence, but it's maintaining
Right.
that order naturally.
It maintains balance.
It maintains balance.
The difference
Exactly.
is we have a consciousness in a way that animals that's above
Don't.
and beyond. I'm not going to say animals don't have consciousness, but ours is above and beyond.
But
And it's almost too, you'd think it'd be, oh, so we can achieve peace even easier, but we're actually worse about it.
but in our attempt for order, we've actually suppressed a lot of our natural instincts,
Mm,
Yes.
which is leading away from peace, not towards it.
good,
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
Also, nobody laughed at my tap that piece joke. You just need to say that out loud.
I missed it.
I
Totally
Your
missed
missed it.
minds are not dirty enough today.
Totally.
tap
Totally.
that piece. I got it. It took me a minute.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Anyway.
but I missed the moment. And
You missed the moment. It was
that
gone.
if we were tuned in, that could have been the show title. Tap that piece.
It's not too late.
I brought it back. I brought it back.
It's not too late for a show to. Also, I mean, this is a perilous time of war and unrest. So, the peace jokes might be a little sensitive right now, and like we are a little, what's the word I want? I know, self-conscious
Fair,
about that.
fair.
But totally missed that.
So our fearless Secretary of War said the war in Iran is protected by God, to which Pope Leo said, do not involve the name of God in choices of death. God cannot be enlisted in darkness. And I like that framing of choices of death, which it feels like war is always that. Even in a World War II scenario, obviously, where it feels like it's maybe justified.
Where was that on our sheet?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no, I
not.
added
I'm.
that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I was confused.
I added
Um,
that.
Also, I love how the Pope just came out and was like, "Keep Jesus out of your mouth." Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We can't keep using the Prince of Peace as a justification for war.
for
Like
war.
we did that with the Crusades. We did enough. We've done enough of that. Come
Well,
on.
it's kind of like the no wars president doing all the wars, you know?
Right.
Oh my God. You guys, did you see the Daily Show? So Jon Stewart did
From
this
last
bit.
night?
Yes.
No.
He did this bit where, he's like, I'm assembling a panel of experts
Yes.
to talk about the war, the Republican response to the war. I'm a panel of experts. So welcome our panel. And it's a 4 screen, like, 4 different screens, and they're all Donald Trump. But they all have different names. So it's Donald J. Trump, President Trump,
Candidate Trump.
all different, right? So he's like, and all he's doing is playing things Trump said about the war. It's not a war. It's an excursion. It's this. It's that. It's like, It was, I'm laughing out loud. It was hilarious. And I'm like, we shouldn't be laughing at this level of just like stupidity and arrogance that is literally causing unrest in the world, making everything more expensive, lives, schools of little girls are being blown up. Like, I shouldn't be laughing at this. But at the same time, it's like, this is the only way I'm getting through it at this
What
point.
what
Because,
I mean, what else are we gonna do at this point? I mean,
oh my God.
I'm not saying I don't take it seriously, but I'm like,
Yeah.
You
come
got
on, man.
you got to
Come
laugh.
on.
And remember how conservatives lost their minds when John Kerry was a candidate about him flip-flopping? And
Their
Yeah.
here we
minds.
have the biggest flip-flopper in the universe who has no moral compass, and they're like, "Oh, whatever dear leader says is great."
But I love we're in a place where he's like, can asking European countries to help with the Strait of
Oh,
Hormuz, and they're like, no.
did you see? Do you all get the New York Times
They
like
don't want to
daily
tap that piece.
emails? They do not want to tap that
They
piece.
don't want to tap that.
Apparently,
Nice,
she's Miss Piggy or something, you know. Um,
nice.
did you all read the? I don't know if you get the New York Times, but it's like America Alone, like
Yeah,
was the
I didn't see
title
that,
to
but that's
was the
yeah.
exactly.
subject line today of the email, and it's like right, like no, everybody's like,
I
no,
mean, they
you want
they
to do
pull.
this,
Yeah,
fine, but we're out. Like we
We're
are
yeah. They
out.
were
not
they were
interested.
basically going like, this sounds like a you problem.
Exactly.
That's what they
Exactly.
were saying.
And you know what?
Exactly.
It is an us problem
Yeah,
because we did it and nobody
you
else.
you
I mean,
started this.
Israel.
You didn't talk to us about it. You didn't consult us.
No.
We found out when the bombs were dropping like everybody else, and now you're asking
Yep.
for help. Yeah, it's definitely a you problem.
Yeah. That's a you
Exactly.
problem.
And yeah, Billy Joel's now changed the song to actually we did start the fire.
We did start the
We-
fire.
we
We
just-
did. Okay. Parody people, parody music people, get on that right away.
Yeah, right,
Right
right,
away.
right.
Okay. If I'm gonna have a second beer, I have to go get it. So
Go
I'll
get
go.
your beer. We're about in a transition, so go get
Okay.
it. Ogan and I will, So
Come up with
this was
some
last night's
parodies.
show when he did when he did this.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I,
I'm not sure. Yes, it is on YouTube because I
the
only
four
watch. I only
panel
watch this on YouTube.
Trump. I got to see
Yes.
this.
Yeah, it's really good, and they did some really creative editing. So like as John Stewart is setting up the question, it looks like Trump is just like sitting there like nodding his head,
Yes.
preparing to listen to the answer.
Yeah.
And it's just like three of them will be in agreement, and then the fourth one will come in and say something different.
I love it.
It was brilliant. It was
Gold.
it was brilliant,
Sounds like gold.
and I'm like, this is
This is bad, y'all.
yeah.
This is bad.
Awesome. So Shannon, are we on cold snap number 2?
We are in cold snap number 2 because
Let's go.
Winter is coming.
it's been a
Winter's
freaking
here.
week, y'all, and it is Tuesday, which I keep thinking it's Wednesday, but it's not. It's
Yeah, I'm gonna
Tuesday.
finish the Maggies,
I mean, Brian had 2 beers because so I had
and
to.
one of them is a extra tall. So
So like I couldn't
What
let
did
him
I
drink
have there?
alone.
Oh, this is a pint. Half liter is a pint, right?
yeah, you had a good sized beer there, Ogun.
Yeah, and mine's weak compared to y'all's, so we're good.
The Guinness is
what am I?
4.1%, but the Maggies, let's see what that is. 5.4.
Oh, I'm at 5.3, so I'm
Yeah.
above you.
We're all Do they not print the alcohol content in European beers?
9.
Oh no, there it is.
Percent.
5%. Yeah, I was looking for the alcohol content. Nine. Good one.
Okay. All right,
Nine.
moving along.
Yes.
Moving along. Hebrews 13:5 says, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, 'Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you.'"
I don't know what "never will I leave you, never will I forsake you" has to do with money.
Yeah. Have you seen the price of gas these days? Like, I mean,
I'm sorry, Brian.
Can't even ask the question. You guys are just ripping
Can't
in.
the two be? Hey, I'm on beer number 2. All right, go ahead.
You are. So the first question is, before we get to the text, or we can go right to the text, but is it harder in this age of social media, interconnected, knowing if you want what literally everyone you know is up to? Is it harder to be content today than in earlier times, even our earlier lives when social media and the internet wasn't a thing?
it's harder but it's definitely doable.
Mm.
Like
Mhm.
we got like people have to make some choices around how they allow social media technology, the phone to infuse into their lives. So make some choices. You can make the choices
Yeah.
to turn your back on all of this, fight the FOMO, fight the whatever. Like, there's that lawsuit I think going on in court right now of someone who's suing Facebook because of for damages because of how they say Facebook was specifically designed to like suck them in. And yes, it's specifically designed for that. And
Right.
this person, when they were a teenager into their 20s, literally spending up to 16 hours a day sometimes online. Like they're waking up, flipping on the phone, on all day, waking up in the middle of the night, checking notifications.
Oh, geez.
Right. So my
I mean,
thing
that
is,
feels a little bit like the person that sued McDonald's because their coffee was hot.
yes, this is the point I'm making. This is the point I'm making. Yes, two things can be true. Yes, the social media companies are designing the apps and the algorithm to keep you engaged, suck you in.
Yep.
Yes. What is also true is you have some agency as to how much you get sucked in
Correct.
as well. Both things are true.
I mean, I wonder how much would be good if we just like realized how much autonomy we have. We really do have.
Hmm.
Like, um, I do, I mean, I don't I think contentment is extremely underrated. Like, I
100%.
think that
Yep.
happiness is way overrated and
Yep.
contentment needs to be the goal.
Yep.
Because if you look at life, like we need to be in the middle. Like we need to be content. There are moments of happiness, there are moments of sadness, but like contentment is the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Contentment is gold
is gold.
and the goal.
It is the gold at the end of the rainbow, if you will.
Yes. But seriously, when you're in that place of contentment, it's just like it's all good. Like, yeah, are there billionaires or even people with their house paid off or whatever the thing I might like to have in my life but isn't true of my life currently? Sure, that exists all around, but that's always
Yeah.
going to be the case.
But I'm not jealous. I'm not like it's not stealing my joy. It's
Yes.
actually more like I look at, I mean, at this point, like I look at billionaires or whatever, and I go, I don't want
Tragic.
your life. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, that is not what I desire.
Yeah.
No.
Now, would I like to pay my bills? Would I like it to be a little easier? Sure.
I will happily settle for being a multimillionaire. I don't.
I mean,
Exactly. I mean,
but,
Yeah.
here,
Few
not
millions,
I
here.
mean,
sure. I don't
you
need the
know,
billions. Yeah.
but I mean, we found a house and we're
Huzzah.
downsizing. I know. I'm so excited. I'll send you all a picture.
Wait,
It's
is this one with
so
the
cute.
pool? Did you get the pool?
No, we did not get the pool.
Ah.
Oh.
All right.
We're
I understand.
buying. We're buying, which is a shift. It's good,
Okay.
Oh,
et cetera, et cetera.
really?
It's so cute. It's so cute. Anyway,
I
as
love it.
everybody from Pittsburgh says, it's very Pittsburgh. Built in 1920, Tudor style, curved door.
Yeah.
Let's
That very
go.
Adorable.
that very Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Adorable.
a lot. That's a lot there.
I'm
But
coming in July right after I visited Ogun.
awesome.
There you go.
But there's a lot of money conversation right now, right? Selling
Sure.
our house. And there's a lot of more money conversation than like more like the bigger figures, the biggest figures of my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Conversation right now. So like that's why I'm like, what does that have to do with I will never like what does that have to do with God never leaving
God's like,
me?
I'll co-sign that mortgage with you.
Exactly. Are you co-signing this mortgage with me? Because then you're never leaving me. You know, like also what's your credit score? But anyway, now maybe that's the show title. Jesus, what's your credit score? Maybe you can move in. Jesus is knocking. I don't know what's your credit score.
I don't just have one cosigner. I got three. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
No, and
You bring
y'all,
that to the bank and say, you don't want to tap that piece?
Yeah. And they're like, why are all these signatures identical? Oh, because they're the same, but they're not the same.
they're the same person. Wait, but I thought you said there were three of them. There are.
Yes, exactly.
Also, if you want to confuse a mortgage broker, send them a paycheck with a clergy housing allowance on it, and that will blow their minds.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like so
Wow.
I think in this mentality of like bigger, 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 right? Like, and as we have a large family and as you get bigger, but like we're looking at the next 4 years in this house going, we're launching children,
Yeah.
right? We're launching
Exactly.
one, then in 2 years we're gonna launch another, and then another and another. And so it's like, so what if we lose 1,000 square feet? Like that's good, actually. That's
Yeah.
that's better. And we're still gonna have more house than we need by the end, you know. And anyway, it just so I think that that mentality of like what I think we say what makes you happy in this world, and what we really mean is like how will you be content with what you have,
Yeah.
with where you are, etc. Right? Like,
It's adopting a consciousness of enough, of
mm-hmm.
sufficiency.
Yes.
It's the less is more. It's the and this is the problem with There's always been the problem with capitalism, and always now even more exacerbated with social media. It's more the message is more is better, right? More
Yeah.
money, more attention, more likes, more is better. And if you are not on this quest to get more, somehow you are failing. If
Yeah.
you're not getting more, somehow you are failing. And we've lost touch with the this is enough, and enough is okay. Enough is contentment. Why?
I
Yeah,
heard
what's wrong with
I
enough?
heard this once on a thing. So I have like 1,000 post-it notes around me, but it's thriftiness is the cure for consumption. And
Ooh.
it was like, yes,
Oh, okay.
like that is for overconsumption, if you will, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is it, right? It's not, and I don't mean like thrifting necessarily, right? But like being good stewards. Like let's put it in
Yeah.
theological language, right?
Yes.
Being good stewards of what we have been given, appreciating what we have. This is why gratitude is actually the cure for hopelessness, not hope.
Right.
When you're
Yeah.
hopeless, like when you're deprived of joy, when you're deprived of being able to see the future, the cure is not to hope for a better future. The cure is to be grateful for where you are and what you have. And that's contentment.
Yes. And I'm going to borrow this, Ogun, for a sermon title, but your line, a consciousness of enough. Like, I think that
Hmm.
says it
Yeah.
perfectly, right? It's this conscious shift.
Out of the consciousness of scarcity, like we overabundance because we live in a scarcity model.
Yes.
That's right.
Like that's how
Yes.
we compensate.
That's how this country was founded, baby.
Exactly.
And that consciousness of enough applies to not just what we have, but who we are.
Right.
Right.
It,
If
it it
we
really
Yes.
isn't about what we have. That's where the
Right.
conversation goes off the rails.
Exactly. If we had the consciousness of enough for who we are, we would want less.
This is
Because a lot of the times the getting more, the wanting more is trying to fill that sort of like sense of unworthiness and not enoughness that we have about ourselves.
right.
So we take care of that, like it totally shifts how we see the world. It totally shifts our relationship with material things and how we feel. The endorphins we get from new shit hits less
Well, and
when we are content and with who we are, when we realize I am not just enough, I'm actually more than enough. And
Yes.
Mhm. I mean, and
Huge.
it isn't that we stop buying things, right? It isn't that we like go off the grid and
right.
blah blah
Oh yeah,
blah.
we gonna
It
still buy some
means
stuff.
yeah, we still buy stuff. It's more like, and again, I'm having this conversation now of like, okay, where do we put our money? So when we got a really beautiful several years ago, we got a like patio set that I didn't have a place outside to read books, right? I wanted to, but it got rid of our dining table outside. At
Mm.
our new house, we will have space for both. There's two separate spaces for each of it. And I'm like, I want to spend money on an outside dining room table because us eating together as a family is is one of my highest priorities as a mother. Like, is to feed my family and sit together and eat because the conversations that happen around that table are vital to our connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it isn't about the freaking like, oh my God, like $2,000 I'm gonna have to spend on a table unless I can find one. Unless I can find one at a thrift shop, which isn't really the case. But anyway, but it's not like, right? So it's like, okay, how do I work to get that money? But this is really about my family connecting because
Well,
that's where
yeah,
my
you're
value lies.
investing in the people you care about the
I'm
most.
investing in my family. I'm investing in my
Exactly.
family's future.
Exactly.
But that's different than looking over going, oh my God, look at their beautiful teak table. And if only I had teak and not wrought iron or whatever, I don't know. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's a very different conversation, completely different conversation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. And unfortunately, we live in a culture and a system that is dependent on us living in a consciousness of lack and scarcity,
Right.
not enoughness and contentment.
So I am curious about the spiritual angle in this verse, right? We kind of laughed at the front end, but I think there is something there, right? That if we're spiritually in a good place, that
Right.
this the
Yeah,
end of the verse says, because God has said, I will never leave you, I'll never forsake you, like that there is a contentment there, a peace that simply physical, material things can't replace.
And I think there's a very big difference between the love of money and needing enough to live.
100%.
Right. I
yep,
mean, there's a big, like, we all know people who love money, where money is their God.
Correct.
yeah,
And that is not, so the difference between somebody who's like, I'm going to do this profession, which I don't like because I want to make a ton of money,
Right.
because I love status and money and etc. Versus the person says, okay, so I'm working a job that I don't love because my value is that my family needs to be fed and they need to have a roof over their head, and that's what's important. And my
Yeah,
kids need
totally different
medication.
motivator.
Completely different.
And the sweet spot is a person who can do things they really love and pay the bills, obviously.
But I think that we like in this like is being free from the love of money is not the same as, well, how do I put this? Anyway,
Well,
you get
what
the
well,
I'm trying to
idea.
say is that,
for
like, if you can't eat or pay rent, like, your problem is not
It's
loving
not the
money too
love of
much. You
money.
just need your
right,
needs met.
If you're obsessed
yeah.
with your next paycheck, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you are obsessing over every penny, that is not the love of money. That is
No,
about survival.
that is survival.
And
And
the and the
I
current
always,
regime, which is what I'm
yeah,
going
go
to
ahead.
call it, is saying the opposite, right?
It
Yes.
is
Is
saying
that
the
welfare
opposite.
people
Yeah.
has the love of money. Bullshit, right? Anyway, sorry, Ogan.
No, no, I was gonna say when I read the love of money, I read greed. I read
Yeah.
Yes.
accumulation. I read
Tax breaks for
I
billionaires.
yeah. I read billions in the first place. I read I will keep getting more money than I will ever need to spend in my lifetime or the three generations of me that follow. Like
Yeah.
Correct.
you don't need all that
Right.
money.
Right.
You know, I'm not against people doing something and earning money. I'm not against that. But at some point, enough is enough, especially when, and I think I preached a little bit on this past Sunday. I was doing the whole the rich young got man who
Hmm.
came to Jesus,
Yeah.
give away a poor camel eye needle, all that nonsense. So I was like, you cannot be a billionaire or at least a good, high millionaire at in this capitalist system without there being exploitation of others,
Exactly.
without harm being caused.
Yes.
So if for you, you're saying your love of money, your desire to keep accumulating money is your goal and you're doing it, there's hundreds of people who are suffering because of you.
Hmm.
Not because you're doing it directly, but because the system is set up that you can't make that money without the exploitation, without people being exploited. And if you can't see that, or you can see it and are willing to ignore it, then yeah, you're an evil person. So I'm not saying evil billionaires are evil because they have billions. I'm saying billionaires are evil because in order to be a billionaire in this day and age, you have to be causing explicit harm to people. There's no other way around it because that's
And
how
look at,
capitalism is set up.
Yeah.
well, and the few people, mostly women who got billions in divorce, right?
giving that shit away like nobody's business.
Giving it away. Couldn't, and like, I don't know if you all have watched Loot, but right, like, it's
Yes,
Maya
I've
Rudolph
seen.
and whatever, and she's like
Hmm.
giving all of her billions away because she got it in a divorce settlement. And like she just keeps she's making more money literally than she can give away because
Right.
that's how much money she has. And she's like,
Yes.
"Oh my God, how do I do that? Like, this is
We
crazy."
don't need to watch Loot. Look at Mackenzie Scott. Like
Okay.
we have
Yes. No,
real life
Mackenzie
people.
Scott. No,
Who
we
are,
do have real. I mean, this show is based on like
all
her
right, yeah, yeah.
Mackenzie Scott life, but like that's how crazy this system is. But when you look at people who are billionaires because they're not actively exploiting,
Right,
then they could not give that money away fast enough.
yeah. Exactly, exactly.
I'm not saying they don't live good lives.
Oh, nothing wrong with living a good life.
But again, like we all live good lives on our various scales. And what that good life means for one person is different for another. And that's what we mean by contentment. Like,
Exactly.
where are you in that? That was a rhetorical question.
I have a friend who, in their words, like the last month and a half has felt like 2 years between the stress of all they've been going through and some deaths. Just like they're struggling with everything, and they're like, "How are you doing?" And I'm like, "My life is boringly and predictably content, and I will not change a single thing." I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm like, and sometimes we feel bad when somebody who's going through a struggle says, I'm struggling right now. How are you doing?" And we want to downplay
Right. Right.
sort of deal, right? And I'm not gonna throw it in their face, but I'm like, listen, I'm good. My life is content. And it didn't get this way by accident. I'm not lucky. Like
Hmm.
I've made some choices
Right.
so that my life is content, right? And part of that is, to your point, living in a very what did you say, thrifty way,
Thriftiness. Yeah. Thriftiful.
thriftiness, so that I don't have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Been there, done that,
Yep.
Hmm.
providing for my family and all the things. And also part of it was getting money to buy stuff. And because I used to be like, the what do you call it, smartphone alpha consumer. Like every year, sometimes less than every year, I'm upgrading the cell phone. Like I want to be on the cutting edge of like all of this stuff because for
Yeah.
some reason I felt that was what was important
Why
in
do
my
you got to
life.
make me feel bad? I got a new phone showing up
And
tomorrow, I think.
Okay. But when was the last time you had a new
yeah, I was like,
phone?
how often
I
do
got
you
2021 models here.
Okay.
exactly
I do
right?
you, but no, to your point, like I bought a new computer. My computer was 6 years old, literally shutting down multiple times a day.
Yeah.
And Derek's like, your entire livelihood depends on this
Yes.
computer. Spend $2,000 on a computer. You're
Yes.
making enough money to do it.
Do it.
Exactly.
And like
But
Exactly.
so right now I am working like 60 to 80 hours a week, no
Right.
joke. And I'm like, I signed up for this so
Yeah.
that in the summer when we move, I can basically not work. Like
Yeah.
I made a compromise. I'm not mad about it. Is it stressful? Yes. Do I feel like did I make this decision consciously? Am I like all of those?
And
I'm
it's
not
for
sad
all
about
the
it. I'm not
understandable reasons.
all
right.
the
It's
understandable
it's
reasons.
not about how much you're working, but it's the why behind it.
It's the why
Right?
behind it.
It's
And
the why
again,
behind it.
it's for me, and it'll always come back to this for me. I'm functioning out of my values.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
my priority right now for the next 5 years are my kids, finishing like launching them into the world. I'm not saying it won't be at all after that, but like that's my main focus. The work comes alongside that, right?
Yeah.
And yet sometimes I have to be absent in order to be present. And
Hmm.
that's part of the contentment is the compromise. It
Yes.
just is.
And yes, and the intentionality behind it.
Absolutely.
And I think, Ogun, an example of what you just said about your life and your experience and how you got there, when they do these global contentment or happiness studies, Finland always rises to the top. And we watched a short documentary on that. And Finnish people were like, feels like a lot of pressure to say we're the happiest country in the world. And they're like, we don't know that we're that happy, but we're
We're
content. We
content.
Yes.
don't set our
I think
goals at
we
being a billionaire. Like,
Yeah.
we're just happy to live the life we have, and it's enough.
we say happiness when we mean contentment.
I think that
Yeah.
There
I think
is
that's
no
right.
I think there's no question about that.
Yep.
Because like happiness is like your wedding day, deliriousness, right? Like puppy love kind of thing. Like nobody that is not sustainable, right?
Yeah, the
We
endorphin rush.
exactly. Like that's
Yeah.
not what we're talking about.
Correct. All right, we got one left. We got energy for this? Yes, because it's a two beer day. Final, excuse me, final question. Do we
Oh,
have,
Brian's hiccuping already.
yeah,
There you go.
do we have free will, or
Yes.
are
Sorry.
our actions predetermined by factors beyond our control?
Also, yes.
Philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer stated, man or human person can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. He can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills, highlighting the challenge in grappling with the concept of agency and the extent to which our choices are either predetermined or autonomous. So he's saying even the what we feel like is an array of choices that's already predetermined. So we're not actually free because the option's already predetermined.
Again, I answered yes to both. Yes, we have free will, but yes, there's also predetermination, and not from like a like a God spiritual sense, but from the sense of like Shannon mentioned values before, right? So many of us we pick up values from the people around us, right? We're born in society with a certain set of cultural rules. We're born into a certain class. We're born into, what we're born into certain conditions that in many ways dictate the path of our life. And then things happen beyond our control that affect the path of our life. But within those things, we can always make choices to kind of navigate within that path or get off that path. So it's a mixture of both.
Yeah,
It is a
I
mixture of
didn't.
both.
Yeah,
it has to be,
But
right?
has to be.
so where this example, where the rubber hit the road on this example for me, and I'm just gonna share this. Like, I don't mind, whatever. But like when I was trying to have children, I couldn't will myself to get pregnant.
Mhm.
Like biologically and scientifically, something was going on. So to Ogun's point, I had a choice to take medication, to talk to a doctor, to go down a certain road with that.
Right.
Right.
Or, as some other religious sects say, sects, as in sects, because I'm talking about
SECTS.
making babies. So therefore, our brain goes different directions. Anyway,
But
um,
sex is a holy religious act. Let's be clear about that also.
let's also be clear about that. But
There you
anyway, um, tap that piece in another way.
Oh, wow.
You're
Yes,
welcome. I set that up for you.
but
Set and spike.
so it was Brian's comment in the chat. I just want you to know credit where credit is due. I just chose the opportune moment to say it. So where they said that's wrong, you shouldn't take medication. It's if it's God's will, it was predetermined whether or not you could have children. Like, right? And I was like, no, like this is an option open for me. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk through this door. But there were moments, right? Even on the medication, even on the whatever, where I was like, I can do everything right, and this still may not happen.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so it's both, right? And there was an explanation for why it was happening, but it wasn't necessarily clear on like why that was happening, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, there are some, I think, philosophers who will like want to get down to the granular level of the physiological, like molecular chemical makeup of our bodies and say we don't have any choices. It's all predetermined because of we're physical beings. It's like, okay, you know what? That
Yeah, genetics play a part, right? But
yes.
if I smoke every day and drink every day, I'm
exactly.
probably gonna fuck up my genetics. There's
Right.
a higher chance of me dying earlier than
And like,
if I
and
don't.
and
And
there's
yes, there are
also
some people
times
who smoke every day and live to 100, and there's some people who never smoke a cigarette and get lung cancer.
But see,
Yes,
they'll even
these things
say,
happen.
like, even if you choose good decisions, like, okay, I'm going to cut myself off of all the unhealthy things, that you had no choice but to make that choice because of who you are, your brain chemistry, everything else. And I don't know that I believe that.
But there's, again, this is where the both and come in. If I eat healthy and exercise, then statistics will tell me I will live longer. Like most people who eat
Most people
healthy
will.
and exercise will live
But they will
healthier,
say
longer,
because of
And then
your
there's
happier
and then there's
who
life.
a
Ogan is, you always made that choice
Well,
before you
but
made it.
it's called a bell curve. There will be exceptions to
there
every
will be
rule on both
exceptions. There will be the
sides.
guy that drops dead at 45 from running, right? Because
Exactly.
he ran too much.
Damn,
Like that
Yeah.
is always just what it is.
son
Like,
of a.
and there are things, and again, you're right. Like there's DNA, there's whatever, there's environmental factors. They're just like shit
Exactly.
happens, right?
And also,
Now,
Shit happens.
Derricks don't die. That's what I learned.
Derek's
That's
don't
what I learned
die.
last
Text,
night.
don't die.
Oh my God. It's my favorite episode, Tile. It's my
I love
favorite.
that show. I
Obvious
love
for
that show
obviously
so
reasons.
much. I love that show
You
so
haven't watched
much.
Shrinking, friends. Watch Shrinking.
That was
Please
a
do.
shrinking reference.
Please
It was
do.
a Shrinking
By the
reference.
way, can we call out the misogyny of it's God's will about you getting pregnant? You shouldn't be doing anything.
Oh my
But we
God.
never talk about God's will when it comes to erectile dysfunction. I'm just gonna put that out there as a
I
as
mean,
a as a person who's made a lot of sacrifices for Viagra. Like
I would
that's
be
come
very
on.
curious about the Catholic point of view on Viagra, you know.
Yes. Somebody look that up and
Yeah,
let
Because
us
Pope
know.
that
Leo, what do you got?
because if I can't do, you know,
Yeah.
and like of course, you know, my Catholic cousins who are like have 6 children each are like, you shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, sorry.
Correct.
It was middle finger time,
Yeah,
podcast
that
listeners.
was the old how do you do from
It
Shannon.
was Good Day if you've watched
Good
Spirited.
day to you.
Good Day.
Good
A
day.
good
I
day.
said good day.
I said good day. So thank you, friends, for tuning in to Pub Theology Live. You can show your love for the show by becoming a supporter on Patreon. Get access to pre and post show banter and more. Visit patreon.com/ptlive to get started. A big thank you to our current patrons. You can watch full episodes on YouTube. Our top cities tuning in this week are we're international again. Singapore, Frankfurt, and Madrid.
Nice.
It's the bots. I'm telling you, the bots are getting us.
No, those are real listeners.
Do
Those
you
are
think
yeah,
so?
listeners.
I do.
Good for you, Brian. Good for you. If you'd like to start a pub theology gathering in your town, find support and resources at pubtheology.com. Until next time, friends, drink responsibly, not like us today, and keep those conversations flowing.